Not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready. 30 base. Don't get it out. Switch. General West.
On first down, McClain. That's complete to John Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
First down, Chicago.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. McClain trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys.
Next to score, Cowboys 7, Bears 0.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to throw. McLean. He's going to air one out. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You. Watch that. Wait.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up
Ready.
3rd
Black,
down and 2.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check 3. Let me go.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
First down, Bears.
One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
218, chop. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
First down, Chicago.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 34.
Hey, echo.
From the gun, McLean going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Let's go. Five.
Operating from the gun, McLean. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get them. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So first and 10 now from the 30. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
Let's go.
The full start backs him up 5. First and 15.
Recon, 132 fighter. 56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
And to give this time to the tailback. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
61, matchbox right.
Looking looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, McLean. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Badgley's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Back.
Here's Elliott, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jameis to throw it. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On 1st and 10, McLean. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. McLean. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
from the 29. Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
10 logo. 56.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
58, Mike. Stand. Let's go, let's bring it. Check 50. Hey, wahoo! Hit it.
To throw on second down. McLean dancing to his left. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Back to throw. McLean. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will tie the score now at 9 apiece. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On second down, Elliott. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here comes the ball. I see you.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder, Artie Burns. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a
McLean. And that's going to be incomplete. Second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, McLean. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or two short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Badgley able to punch this one through. And they will take the lead here at 12-9. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. From the gun, Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Move. Hey, 4 down. Mike 17, Mike 17.
And the blitz does come. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And a little spin cycle. Room to run now.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown, baby.
A great play there. his 6th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for him now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Winston. Safarian Jenkins has it. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
At the 49-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Everyone got four down.
They go to Elliott again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Watch the slip. Get it.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 24-yard line.
Here we go. 50, plant. 65. 65. Right up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Let's go. 30 base. 56. Hey, Charlie. I'm coming after you. 56 to Mott, boy. 56. Check. Ready?
To throw on third down. McClain. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Final minute now of the third quarter. To throw again on second down. Winston. And that is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Back now in Arlington. It's Bears football here. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Blue draw quarter.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Out.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Bears on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, McClain. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 95 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
At the 35-yard line.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard.
Check. Protein spill.
2nd down and inches. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That good for 22 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. McClain. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Bears on third down, just one conversion in 8 tries, not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw, McClain, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes Grant on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Ready. She like 25. Hey, 5 on the kicker. 5 on the kicker. Get that ball, man. Get that ball.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw, Winston. Going to take a shot for Gallup. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. McClain. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Winston here to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Ready, black 22. Double tight, guys, double tight. Even. 4 down, even. Let me go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Dallas, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Bears,